wingdings.
The Axis wings for wingfoiling.
Here they are. Well, you can wingding every wing.
But these are the new ones that really excel at it.
They do. These are amazing.
So a few new sizes.
91, this one. Does everything. Everyone's loving. So everything. So guys, wind range. So for me, I was getting as low as sort of, I think it was about 12 knots on a 4-meter duotone wing, and I'm riding about, I got down to about 12-14 knots on a 4.8 55-litre board. I'm 75 kilos.
Yep, cool.
This big boy will go straight.
In the middle, you got a 101.
Okay, we'll go to the 101, yes. I think in 8 to 10 knots for me, 12 knots maybe with a 5 or 6 metre wing.
More my size.
Yep. Michael, he's 92 kilos, say 90 to 95 kilo guys are getting going in about 12 knots on the, he's riding a 5-metre unit.
Cool. And then this is the fresh one, the 115. And
he got going before all of us the other day in about 8 knots.
In
he's
nothing.
92 kilos, and he was on a 5.4 Fanatic 95-litre board, and this thing is a weapon.
Yeah, so that's the new wingfoiling, very flat, high aspect, mega lift.
Mega lift, lots more top speed than a, oh, my wife is here. Bring her on set.
No way.
Yeah, so this one in 8 to 10 knots with a 5 or 6 metre wing is going to be amazing.
Just flying.
Yeah, and guys love pumping this one too who want to do dock starts.
Perfect.
The word is they're doing amazing dock starts with an ultra short fuselage and 340 rear to help it turn.
Yep.
We used to use the 90 wing for a lot of sort of high speed downwind stuff.
Yep.
Now, hey!
Punch into here.
Where are you going? You're on video. Look, say hello to the camera.
And a lot more curve in the tips on the 91.
Yeah, probably compare these two because this has actually got a lot more lift slightly than the 90 now. These turn down tips versus the flat tips. You may have heard a few guys explain they come out of the water and don't sort of chuck you off. Through the whitewash a bit nicer too. Yeah, more lift, better pump. And I guess this stays up similar to the 100, whereas this will stall out at a lower speed. So lighter wind, this will get up going.
Great set. Good selection of wings for wingfoiling. So your top plate, you know, if you look at any, if you know machine work and stuff like that, you'll see the components on this. The quality is pretty top notch. You know, they're all machined components with the top plate, fuselage, stuff like that. So you've got options with the plate mount, which is the majority of them, and you also have Tuttle. The way it works, it slides into a fairly large sleeve and also decent bolts that come down through the top. Now, pretty handy. They've got the slotted cutouts as well as some threaded bolt holes too, so depending on what system you're running. But that's a nice, quick and easy on and off the board when you've got to take it apart. You don't have to thread each one through. You can leave your nuts in the board.
They got different mills, so your top plate for your 16 is what's on this one. You've got a 19 mil for a thicker mast, so if you go a 19 mil mast, you need a 19 mil top plate, vice versa with the 16. And then the doodad. The doodads fit the mast, so 19 for 19.
Mast heights, top of my head, I think there's about 8 different mast heights you can get, from really short up to over 1 meter now. So there's lots of different heights available, and it's alloy and then some other stuff as well. Down to the fuselage, like I said, the machining on these things is like precise. I don't know, like the finish on them is just nuts. So you've got what they call a doodad, and this adapts to the different fuselages, lets them just have different products. Now that makes it stiff, really stiff, because you have basically a spigot that goes into the mast and really locks in the whole fuselage, that connection there.
234% stiffer, Adrian will tell you.
Yeah, Adrian, the owner and designer of Axis, he's a tech nerd and absolutely loves this kind of stuff. So it's good having a guy like that on this. So with the different length fuselages, you've got what they call standard, quite long, which they rarely don't even use as a standard anymore. The new standard is what they call the short. You then have an ultra short.
This is the short difference.
Yep. And they've recently announced a crazy short, which is going to be real fast to pump.
Yeah, it changes the pitch. So when you go a lot shorter, you do get a lot more sensitivity forward and aft. So you get a lot more sensitivity, and it makes it sometimes, too much for most guys. But the short, we found amazing guys get used to the ultra short, and within 2 sessions, they're not noticing the difference anymore. It's pretty crazy how quickly you sink in. So pumping's a bit sharper on the ultra short too.
If you're doing multiple sports, this is where you start changing up. So you've got a windsurfing fuselage option, which is longer to get the wing further in front. And then you also have a kite surfing fuselage option to run even smaller wings to more for kite surfing.
How good. Thank you.
Focused?
Had my gut out before too. Suck it in.